FBI officers were troubled by the fact that even if a prisoner were to be released freely in Alcatraz, they still couldn't escape. How did three prisoners manage to flee right under the authorities' noses? The most astonishing part was that for the next 10 hours, the authorities had no clue about their escape. Not just the FBI, but even its three top-level agencies had struggled to solve this mystery. We are talking about a jailbreak that has not only remained unsolved for the past 60 years, but has also become a mystery for the world. Once again, we turn our attention to the small island located in the Pacific Ocean. This small island, spread over just 22 acres, was once home to some of the world's most dangerous criminals. Situated on a massive rock in the middle of the ocean, it is also known as the Rock. Surrounded by the vast ocean on all sides, the island was further protected by a 15-foot-high fence. With 24/7 monitoring by jail sergeants and the harsh conditions of the Pacific Ocean, strong winds and high waves, escaping from Alcatraz seemed impossible. Given these conditions, in 1934, it was declared a federal prison with maximum security. In short, once someone was sent here, escaping on their own was deemed impossible. This prison had earned the reputation of being inescapable. However, on July 12, 1962, the myth of Alcatraz was shattered when three prisoners ingeniously deceived the security and escaped. The key characters in this story are the Anglin brothers, John and Clarence Anglin, and Frank Morris. The Anglin brothers were imprisoned for bank robbery, while Frank Morris had been in and out of prison since the age of 13 and was also serving time for bank robbery. The fourth person involved was Alan West, who had previously attempted to escape from other prisons and was therefore held in maximum security at Alcatraz. Alan West was quite familiar with the prison's layout, having worked in its maintenance, which gave him an edge in planning the escape. The idea of escaping from Alcatraz was first conceived by Alan West in 1960, and he shared it with his fellow inmates. West had discovered a utility corridor in Block B that could potentially be used for the escape. The challenge was that the four inmates were not housed in the same cell block, so they worked to get themselves transferred to Block B. After 2 years of effort, they succeeded in being moved to Block B. Over the next 2 years, they meticulously planned their escape, working in secrecy within their cells. On the morning of July 12, 1962, during the routine head count, 3 prisoners were found missing. When the staff checked the cells, they found dummy heads made of soap, plaster, and concrete on the beds of the Anglins and Frank Morris. One of the dummy heads had fallen and broken, as seen in the photo. The entire prison staff was stunned. Assuming the prisoners couldn't have left the island, they conducted a thorough search, but no trace of the escapees was found. The investigation revealed that the 3 had chiseled through the walls of their cells using spoons stolen from the kitchen and a makeshift drill made from a vacuum cleaner motor. They had hidden their activities by covering the holes with fake vents and playing musical instruments to mask the noise. The utility corridor led to a drain pipe that went up to the roof, where they often worked during maintenance. From the roof, they used a pipe to descend and climbed over the 15-foot fence. They had prepared an inflatable raft using stolen raincoats and even made life jackets to keep themselves afloat in the water. The FBI's main question was, where were the escaped prisoners now? Alan West, who had been left behind, revealed that the plan was to reach Angel Island, north of Alcatraz, where security was minimal. From there, they planned to steal a car and clothes. However, no reports of theft or robbery were found in the surrounding areas. The FBI, along with the Coast Guard and the U.S. Marshal Service, searched the ocean but found no trace of the prisoners or their raft. The case, which had baffled the authorities, was now turning into a mystery. Over the next few months, a wooden paddle and 2 bags made from raincoats containing personal items like family photos and letters were found. This led investigators to believe that the prisoners might not have made it to land, as they would not have abandoned such personal belongings. However, no bodies or body parts were ever found. One theory suggested that the prisoners might have reached land and gone into hiding. In 1962, after the escape, the FBI closely monitored the Anglin brothers' family. A nephew, David Widner, claimed that the brothers were alive and in contact with their family. Family members also reported seeing 2 mysterious men at gatherings, who they believed were John and Clarence in disguise. Additionally, 15 years after the escape, A cousin claimed to have seen the Anglin brothers in Brazil and even captured a photo. However, investigators could not confirm if the men in the photo were indeed the Anglin brothers. This was the last time there was any news of the Anglin brothers being alive. Since then, their whereabouts remain unknown. Alcatraz was shut down the year after the escape, and in 1979, the FBI officially closed the case. However, the U.S. Marshal Service continues to keep the case open until the prisoners are either captured, their bodies are found, or they turn 99 years old. Today, Alcatraz Island is a national park where tourists can see the very cells where the Anglin brothers, Frank Morris and Alan West, were once held. We hope you enjoyed this video by Bugstoy Info. Please like, share, and leave your comments below. Thank you for your love and support, and we'll see you in the next exciting video.